So recently, VeChain have been totally outperforming the crypto market as a whole, and just recently here it actually broke out of the upsloping megaphone pattern that we will take a close look at in this video. So in this video we are finally back with VeChain, ticker symbol VET. We will as always do a price prediction and technical analysis, and we will try to identify some important levels both on the upside, some levels to pay attention to for the bulls, but we will also take a look at the downside scenario and some possible levels where buyers might step up going forward. So if you think that sounds interesting, make sure to really pay attention during the whole video, and without further ado, let's jump right into it. And real quick before we start, I just want to mention that if you guys are interested in more similar content, I do technical analysis on, for example, VeChain, but I also do Cardano, XRP, Ethereum, and more. Then don't hesitate to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And also guys, if you hit that blue like button, that would be so awesome. It not only helps out the community, but it also helps the YouTube algorithm to push more VeChain videos to more people. So guys, that would be so nice. Also, if you want to, you can head over to my Twitter and Instagram. I'm called MindMathMoney on both. I'm trying to be very active over there, so it would be very awesome to chat with you guys. And last but not least, I have to give a disclaimer. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Nothing in this video is financial advice. But alright, so now let's take a look at VeChain here and take a look at the chart. So here we are on the 4-hour time frame, and recently, in my opinion, you can see that we have definitely been trading upwards here, and the sort of trend here is getting wider and wider. I usually call this a megaphone pattern. You can see VeChain was making consecutive higher highs, so higher high, higher high, higher high, but at the same time making higher lows, while also the range gets sort of wider and wider. But just recently here, you can actually see that we did get a 4-hour candle close above this white line, and on the most recent 4-hour candles we actually sort of are retesting this previous resistance, right? So acting as resistance multiple times, we're testing previous resistance as support, and as you know, that is a very common principle in trading. So that is a first sort of level I'm definitely paying attention to. It would be a little bearish sign if we actually close a 4-hour candle above this one and get back into the sort of megaphone trend right here. And if we just switch to the daily time frame here, you can see we are in a sort of very strong move here to the upside on the daily. And this whole move sort of started when we broke out, of this consolidation area that we talked about a lot, on this channel. You can see the triangle we had right here, the beautiful breakout that started this whole move to the upside. And let's see here how much we have actually gained since that breakout. You can see from the very low to the very high, we're seeing almost a 100% gain. So I just want to take a moment and congratulate everyone holding VeChain. Very awesome to see. I know that a lot of guys in our community are sort of VeChain holders, so congratulations to everyone. And also guys, the question of the day is, where are you guys from? I am actually from Sweden, which you may or may not know. You might have heard on my accent. I can't really say charts. I think you should pronounce it charts. I'm having some problems here and there, get that pointed out a lot. So if you can't understand what I'm saying, that's probably because I'm from Sweden. But guys, it would be very interesting to know where you guys are from. So before we jump into some key support and resistance levels, there's one thing here on the 1-hour chart that I want to point out, that as you can see here, from that high to the high we are at right now, it looks like we might be setting a higher high here on the 1-hour time frame. So if that is the case, you can see that VeChain would be printing a higher high, right? So higher high on the price, but the RSI goes in the opposite direction. You can see the RSI prints a lower high, and the same thing is actually true with the MACD oscillator. And when we have the price going in one direction, the oscillators going in the other direction, that is something we call bearish divergence, implying a potential reversal. And we are actually right now, the level at around 1.88 is a key level that we will take a closer look at soon. But I just wanted to point out this, divergence before we jump into some key support and resistance levels. And now it's time to give a warning that I always have to do, because we have a lot of scammers and impersonators in the community. So guys, please be aware that we have a lot of scammers and impersonators in the YouTube comments. They are, all over YouTube. We are trying our best to delete every one of them, but some are getting through, so never give anyone your information in the YouTube comments. I can also just mention here that a lot of you guys are asking, which trading software I use for all my technical analysis. And I actually have a special link for you guys that you can use. This is an affiliate link, meaning that if you use this one and then later on decide to buy a pro or premium version, the sign up is totally for free, and their free version is actually very good. But if you use that link and then later on decide to buy, I will get a small commission from that, and you can also get up to a $30 bonus. So if you want to, you can check that link out. It will be both in the pinned comment but also in the description below. But alright, now let's take a look at some key support and resistance levels here for VeChain. And let's start with the upside and the bullish scenario. And the first level I'm paying attention to, we recently mentioned this one, it is at around $0.188. So this one isn't too significant in my opinion. When an asset hits an all-time high, it is hard to get any clear resistance levels because we don't have any historical data. But what I did here was that I took a look at this swing right here. You can see from the very high to the low. It's a bit hard to see, but high to low, we actually reversed pretty much exactly at this 1.618 fib extension level. So this is the first level I'm paying attention to. So definitely look out for that one. If the bulls manage to push the price above this one, then the next level I'm looking out for is all the way up at $0.20. And the only reason I'm paying attention to that level is because that level is such a nice and, clean number. In trading, we usually call that psychological resistance because traders and, just retail in general tend to pay a bit more attention to nice and clean numbers. So I would not be surprised if we see some selling pressure here at the $1.20 level. If the bulls even manage to break this one to the upside and we continue here, then I have another level all the way up at $0.209, and that one is also from the extension of the Fibonacci right here. So high to low, and you can see, let me make that one a bit more exact. High to low, and you can see that our 2.618 fib extension is all the way up at around 0.209. So these are some targets you can look out for here on the upside for VeChain. But how about the downside? What levels am I paying attention to here on the downside? Well, the first one is this continuation of the white line right here, and we are actually, you can see that we are pretty much testing this one right now. So why do I think that one is important? Well, we can zoom out here a bit. You can see that this level, we have been seeing this one as resistance multiple times. You can see at least, 1, 2, pretty much 3 times here early, 4 times, 5 times before the breakout, and now we are sort of testing the previous resistance as support. So this white line is a first level on the downside I'm looking out for. The first sort of horizontal, this is a horizontal zone I'm paying attention to, is a zone here in between around 0.179 to 0.175 I derived this zone pretty much from the high here of the recent swing and the low we printed here just recently. So if we look at the 1 hour here, you can see we printed a high, we had some price action at this level, then we tested this one as support. So around this area is a possible support area. However, if the bears manage to break this one to the downside, what am I looking out for then? Then we have another sort of zone right here in between around 0.155 to 0.147. Why do you think this one can be important? Well, you can see on this upper line, we have been seeing some support here multiple times. Or you can see we actually tested this one a tiny bit as resistance, flipped this one, and saw buyers stepping up at this level multiple times. And the lower line here is basically, the previous sort of all-time high that we printed all the way back here on around April 10 with a nice tweezer top right there. And if even that one breaks to the downside, we still have this upsloping white line that multiple times have been acting as support. So that is also another one you could be paying attention to. But alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you feel like you got any kind of help or value, then please consider dropping a like. And if you guys are interested in more similar content, then don't hesitate to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I hope I will catch you in the next video. But for now guys, take care. Ciao, ciao.